All right, the SAT and the ACT. There's a lot to say about this, so buckle up. This is going to be a long one. So, okay, what are these tests? So the SAT and the ACT are two different tests, and they are run by two different companies that are independent of any college. So the SAT is the College Board, and the ACT is the ACT. The company's called the ACT. And people have been taking these tests for decades. They are standardized tests, which means they are the same across the whole country, actually the whole world, because you can take them across the world now. And their purpose is to evaluate college readiness. Now, do they actually do that? Debatable. That's not what we're here to discuss because they are simply part of the application, so we have to talk about them. So what we're going to talk about in this video is, should you take it or not? So during COVID, basically all schools went test optional because it wasn't possible for people to sit in a room and take this test or these tests. And they stopped requiring these tests for admissions. It used to be a really important part of your application. So now you don't have to submit them. And I get phone calls from parents all the time asking like, should my student take this test? Is this a good idea? Is this going to help them for admissions? And the answer is it depends. So it takes a lot of studying to like do really well on these tests, unless you're like a really amazing test taker, and that's great for you. But for a lot of people, it really is a struggle to take these tests, and people prep for months. So I have a whole separate business for SAT, ACT prep, and I help kids every single year prep for this test for months. And we meet like once a week for an hour and like go over especially all the math stuff and all the English grammar stuff that they like don't know the specific rules about. And so there's a lot to know for these tests, okay? And here's the thing. If you want to study for it and you want to do well, I think you should do that. And you don't have to have a tutor. You can get a test prep book. You can go online and find some of the tests online. It's very important to note that the SAT in 2024 is going all virtual. So whether you're watching this before or after 2024 will depend. Maybe it's old news by now. But they're making it a lot shorter in 2024. So once again, the SAT is changing some things up, and we'll see how it goes because that rollout may be smooth. It may not be smooth. Colleges may like that. They might not. We don't know yet. We're going to find out. But basically, if you decide that you want to take these tests, you should prep for it. You can get all the materials that you need online. A lot of them are free, or you can buy a book. They're usually like $30 to $50 online, or you can hire a tutor to help you. That is also an option. But it depends on which schools you want to go to. So if you have really great, or even just like kind of middle of the road SAT, ACT scores, and you submit them to colleges, that may automatically qualify you for certain scholarships. So that's my main argument for taking the tests, is that if you're going to do well, you can get these scholarships, and you can also, it's just a nice extra data point on your application, right? So it's something that looks nice. If you do really well, it's like a nice thumbs up for you. If you don't test well, or you don't want to put all this extra effort into it, don't take it. You just don't need it. You don't need to take it. If you're going to apply to an Ivy League school, you probably should take it because I think they do like to see it, even though they are test optional as well. It's a nice extra data point, and you need every advantage that you can get. But if it's not something that you want to do, then you really don't have to. It's optional now, and that's really new. That didn't used to be the case. So it just kind of depends on your personal situation and whether you think that's going to be something that's worth it for you. I will say, if all else being equal, if you're kind of ambivalent about it, give it a shot. Take a practice test. See how you feel about it. See if you like it, or if you're like, wow, this is super easy. Let me study up on this for like a minute and I'll be fine. Or you might be like, oh, no, absolutely not going to do this. So it's really up to you. And I would talk to your parents about it. I'd talk to your college counselor about it, maybe even your teachers. But the choice is yours, because if you decide you're going to study, you are the one who has to do that. You are the one who has to take it upon yourself to like learn the material, get all of your strategies, relearn all of that math, dust it all off. A lot of it's from like 8th grade. You're going to be like, I can't believe that they're testing me on something I learned in 8th grade. Yes, welcome to the SAT, ACT. Yes, they are testing you on that. So that's going to be on you, and you are going to do as well as the preparation that you put in. It doesn't matter if you have the best tutor or teacher in the whole world. You are the one who has to be responsible for that. So just keep all of that in mind. This is a very large subject. I do entire hour-long phone conversations with parents about whether their student should or should not take this test. So maybe talk to a professional or have at least a good chat with your parents about whether you think it's going to be worth it for you or not. But all else being the same, give it a shot. See if it's for you, and maybe you'll qualify for extra scholarships.